All right, all right, fellas. I know said I wanted to, or was hoping to, be able to install all those steering components all in one shot. But because of time constraints and trying to find a shop that's not too far away and that actually has decent reviews. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with, unfortunately, sometimes mechanics can be very shady, and they'll try to take advantage and either overcharge you or try to fix stuff that's not broken, and then they actually mess stuff up on purpose so that it'll have to be replaced. It's kind of hit and miss when you're trying to find a good shop. But anyway, because of those, I'm only going to do the easiest part to swap out. I'm going to do the center drag link, the inner outer tie rods, and the adjustment sleeves that go with them. So I'll start doing that and come back on after I'm done. Okay, so here's comparing the new parts with the old. I still gotta, from all the research I've done on this swap, you gotta cut out something like 1/4 of an inch or so out of the outer tie rod on either end, I'm assuming. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna record that part. I'm gonna let my phone charge because it's starting to die. So I'll come back once I get all this got this cut, and hopefully make sure it's still threading properly and all that good stuff. So I'll be back. Okay, so I got the parts installed, and what I didn't, after shortening the outer tie rods by that 1/4 inch or so, all I did, even though the new ones, they're the exact same length, like the overall dimension is the exact same, the design is slightly different on the new ones versus the original ones. How can I explain it? It's like saying this curve is either further in or further out on the new ones. But again, the length is actually the same. It's just this curve is at a different spot. So all I did was measure on each end. I measured end to end and followed that with each inner and outer tie rod, and installed it. And if you look at this right here, this is part of the reason. I don't know if it's just the way it was designed. I mean, I guess it would have to have been, but this was part of the reason. See where this nut recesses into? This is part of the reason that the alignment was off, because this was causing, I don't know, maybe 1/4 inch or more of play. Or both of those nuts were, or rather this area, there was just quite a bit of play, and that's what caused the my tires to start wobbling and get warped. So I'm gonna show you what they look like. The new ones look like underneath. Okay, this is the passenger side. The center drag link. And the driver's side. And I purposely grabbed the parts that were serviceable, that you can grease yourself, and that comes in really handy. All you gotta do is stick a grease gun in there, the other end of the hose into that, and just pretty much, grease gun works just like a typical gun. It's got a trigger, and you squeeze, continue to squeeze until you see just a shade of grease pouring out of the or squeeze out of the boot, and that's all you need. It was tough trying to find the specific the exact torque numbers for these parts, so I just tightened the hell out of them as much as I was able. And as it turns out, again, like I said, my suspicion was that the center drag link, or at least where the nuts, on the original one, where the nuts were bolted on, that was the culprit, where there was that 1/4 inch or so of play, and that's what was causing, again, that's what looked like to me that was causing the tires to wobble and warp. And so after I installed these parts, I went out for a drive, and again, the tires are still warped. They're in bad shape. But guess what? The truck was no longer swerving to the right anymore. It was actually going straight, and it felt the ride felt way smoother. You could let go of the steering wheel, and it was, for the most part, it was going far straighter than before. So again, unfortunately, because of time constraints and all that, I wasn't in a position to install the lower and upper ball joints, as well as the 2-inch drop spindle. So hopefully again, this is cross them fingers, hopefully next weekend I'll actually have the time to install those. But anyway, as far as that goes, but yeah, the way, since the truck was handling really well after installing the new center drag link and inner outer tie rods and the adjustment sleeve, I'm partially suspecting that the alignment isn't actually off, and it was just the center drag link that was causing the wobble, or the misalignment, or the illusion of misalignment. Because again, the truck was driving way so smooth. And, again, the wobble's still there because of the warped tires, but the ride was so much smoother. So I'm still gonna go, once I install everything else, I'm still gonna go get the alignment done, just for peace of mind and all that. But anyway, I don't want to make this longer than it is. And it wasn't too bad of a job. It was fairly easy. The only kind of nerve-wracking part was chopping off that 1/4 inch or so off of the outer tie rod, because once that cut's made, it's once you start, you can't stop. It's already done. So I was a little hesitant to do that part. But anyway, hopefully next weekend I can do the rest, and I'll see ya. Okay, hopefully I can keep this in frame. And I'm going to show you guys how to use, if you've never used one or even seen one, a grease gun. And I'm going to bolt on this nipple so that we can actually use it. If I can... do this and keep it in frame, and try not to strip anything, because these things are made out of aluminum. Hopefully. Try to remember what I used. Might have to use an open end wrench. I'll be back. As always, you don't want to over tighten these because you don't want them to strip or anything like that. Alright. I may or may not have to do this off camera, this part. Trying to do this with one hand is not fun. And all we do, let's see if I can. Keep everything in frame so you guys can actually see this thing working. Might have to tighten it just a shade more. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so unfortunately I had to do the rest off camera because I needed both hands. But again, all you need is to continue pumping the grease gun until you see a little bit of grease come out from the boot. Just a shade, not much. That's just to let you know she's full. And that should be good. And that's all there is to that.